How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Patty, and I am very excited to bring probably the biggest steaming pile of Genshin drama that YouTube has ever seen. Now, some of you might have already seen the tweet behind me, and it's cute. It's funny. We'll take a look at that and talk about it. But if this is the only thing you have seen, there is so much happening behind the scenes right now. It's insane. It is absolutely crazy. So we're going to start here with the tweet that everyone's familiar with, and then we're going to take a journey. We're going to go through a whole bunch more stuff, and this is... whew, boy. There is drama from so many different angles. There are so many things happening, and honestly, miHoYo themselves done goofed so hard. Hardest I've ever seen them mess up, period. This whole thing is the memeiest thing I have ever seen with this game or just a couple others. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look at these tweets. So yesterday, they tweeted, "Recently, we discovered the dissemination of leaked version 1.5 content. Such behavior not only disrupts our plans to develop and promote the new version, but also causes some travelers to have misconceptions about the content of the new version." We'll get back to that in a second. "Here, we kindly ask for the support and help of all travelers to resist leaks and maintain a fair gaming environment." Anyways, we will also increase our efforts to deal with such illegal disclosures. It's pretty serious, right? I mean, it's one of the more serious tweets they've had about the leakers with Genshin Impact. Now, this standing alone, we could do an entire video down and break stuff down. And real quick, before we get into everything else that's happening, I am going to share my own personal opinion here. I find a lot of this to, at least this message in particular, to kind of be a load of crap, and especially with some of the information that we are going to get into here in a little bit. Such things like, travelers may have misconceptions about the content of the new version. Y'all, if you don't already know, all of 1.5 has been leaked, has been 100% compromised, and it's at the fault of miHoYo. So there's no misconceptions about the content. Like, y'all accidentally gave out patch 1.5 so people know what's in it. No one's out here lying. Y'all just got caught with your pants down. But you want to make sure everyone else sees these people as lecherous, as deceitful. It's a propaganda campaign. And I'm from America. I'm very familiar with propaganda. We're so fond of propaganda here, it's literally baked into marketing campaigns. It's taken over most TV, social media. It's just, you pick the flavor of propaganda you like and you just chug that shit down. It's really popular here. So I am probably a little too... I'm worried about it. It's something that I'm constantly looking for the stuff that's not being said, that's the real intentions, because I'm constantly surrounded by that, and I feel obligated to look at things in that way. I get teased occasionally for saying I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. It do be like that sometimes. But my whole thing with them is the main reason that they like to give for why they are so hard on leakers is that they're worried that people will be unhappy with the final product if misinformation comes out from the leaks. That is crap. They know people are very unhappy with several parts of the game, very big parts of the game, and some of the things are very easy fixes, and they don't fix those. We're talking two-factor authentication, okay? Resin system. Go to literally any single post, either on Twitter or on Facebook from Genshin, and look at the comments section. Those two things will pop up in every single post and have since the game launched. 100%. They have not listened to the screams from the community on these issues. So them telling me that they're most worried about us being unhappy is crap. Is absolute crap in my opinion. Personally, what I think the thing is they're afraid they'll make less money if they're not the ones controlling the information and narrative. I don't think that's true. Look at what happened with Hu Tao. She was originally supposed to be a 4-star. She got leaked. The community got insanely hyped for her, and they bumped her up to a 5-star. They made more money off of her than they would have if none of the information was talked about beforehand and she didn't have that pop in the community. So honestly, miHoYo, I don't know what you're thinking, what you're on, but you're a bit of a dick in this situation, and it's a hard thing to ignore. Now, if this is your only understanding of what's happening so far, oh, baby, we got so much to talk about. So, you know what, let's go ahead and just pull up the GitHub. So this is from Dim Breath, and I'll show you actually where I got this from. Several Genshin leakers on Twitter have straight up suspended or deleted their accounts right now. One of them being Dim Breath, and that's who we're going to take a look at some posts, and we're going to get a lot of information here that I think is super useful for everyone to know and understand about what's happened in the last 24 hours, because it's a little nuts. It's a little nuts. So there's been a lot of, I got centered correctly? Okay. There's been a lot of misunderstandings going around as of late regarding certain drama, so this will be explaining every success and where I will be talking about only from my side, as I do not want to involve anyone else. A lot of these guys work in groups with other people, so they take privacy very seriously because they don't want to expose anyone else they're working with to potential harm. Now, whether the repository will be up again or not, for now I do not know. First of all, no. The leaks are time-gated to build up hype, not to gain attention to earn money, as some people has been spreading around to avoid miHoYo to react the way they did yesterday, which was probably due to the amount of content that was leaked by unknown parties. That part is, it doesn't come out and say it, but on Genshin Twitter, Big Boss and his group of Russian leakers, hackers, whatever you want to call these dudes, they broke leaker protocol. A lot of the leakers are in communication with each other, and they essentially wait for these betas to actually launch before they start putting out information. That way, the way that they are obtaining information is harder to detect by miHoYo. What Big Boss and his group decided to do was to say screw you to all these other people, throw everything out before the beta went up, which sends huge red flags to miHoYo, resulting in the tweet that we saw yesterday. But it's continued to cause a storm behind the scenes. Let's keep going in this. My Ko-Fi and Patreon exist and existed for years, at least the Ko-Fi. Patreon was from when I released Ganyu back in January, because I develop and maintain 3 and 1 private bots that up the amount up to 25,000 Discord servers, over 1.5 million members, and processing all 4 of them, over 3 million messages per day, and also game data repositories that people use to make their websites, bots, applications, etc. So if you were a little confused, y'all know all those really cute videos of like the dancing characters and stuff like that. You can thank these people for that kind of thing. They're the ones doing the work so that that is possible. So if you like that stuff and you think, oh, that's really cute and funny, and you like the content people are able to make, that's kind of one of the things these guys are responsible for. The Ko-Fi and Patreon have been there for if people wanted to support the work I did. Reverse engineering, maintaining, and updating bots isn't easy, and hosting isn't cheap either, especially not where I am from. The bots are free to use with no locked or paid feature, and so is the game data repositories, which you can easily find on my GitHub. It makes me feel like all the work I did is being belittled because of all the people spreading lies. Gotta love the propaganda machine. And even then, the fact that there's people that's belittling and minimizing the fact of what has been an entire month of work for us is also kind of irritating, considering the amount of time and effort that it takes. Events that happened. This is the important part that'll start giving everyone a timeline and an idea of what the hell is going on. Around 2 days ago, miHoYo made a really bad mistake, which was making 1.5 beta files publicly available for people to download. That is, if people knew where to look at, since these files are usually locked, Big Boss and their team got aware of this and started downloading the client and then posting/re-uploading the client in multiple servers, so many people got a hold of the client. If you guys are wondering how they were able to do something like this. It doesn't involve hacking or any stuff like that. So essentially, a lot of ways that things are available online, especially like downloads and everything, they might go through like a launcher or something like that, and you're downloading the files, but that's getting it from a specific address. Usually it would, say we're talking about miHoYo right now, it would be, miHoYo.com, and then they could have a bunch of different directories before you're actually getting to the install file that's being called by the downloader. But essentially, there's a long, long history of people on the internet taking that first block that they know is right and then kind of trying to guess directories until they hit something. It's still kind of technically thought of as hacking, but you're not breaking and entering. You're not, keylogging and getting passwords or social engineering anything. It is all guesswork, and the only way that you get through or get into it is if it is unlocked. So essentially, it sounds like these guys were just aware and found a directory for the game files through the website that would allow them to download the client, and that's how they obtained all this stuff. It's not because anybody broke into miHoYo's thing. It's because miHoYo got sloppy. Incredibly sloppy. So, just to give you guys a leak on that, or the information on that part, a few more days later, as I mentioned, stuff started to be posted. Right after that, those unknown parties started to mass posting memory dumped content from that client. Nearly every single thing was leaked by that people. Hours later, miHoYo released a bit more serious than usual tweet/statement regarding the content that has been leaked on both their English and Japanese Twitter, probably due to the entirety of 1.5 patch being available at that point. A bit weird coming from them because of the fact that they were the ones that made the mistake that led to hundreds of people downloading the beta client easily. Again, a few hours later, miHoYo, yet again with one of their worst mistakes so far, released a development build of the beta, and guess what? Also publicly. What they say and what they do doesn't really correlate. Pretty dumb to not take these measures, since it isn't the first time this has happened either. So we're going to stop real quick right there before we keep driving through. If you don't understand what a developer's kit is, it's basically a fully unlocked version of the game. That is what the developers use to test stuff. It is not something that is ever given out outside of in-house. When I was in the content creator for program, I asked for them to give us something similar to a developer client, something that would let us try out champions, put different equipment on them, do some testing, use that to record footage, do build stuff. They weren't about it. But they'll apparently post a developer's kit and give everyone 1.5. And real quick, just to kind of reference back to this message right here, specifically this one. You can't call these people liars when they have your full 1.5 patch. And the fact that after you made these statements, you leaked the most complete version of the 1.5 that you have, the developer's kit that's now in these people's hands. I don't think you can use the misconception line. You should have just come out and been like, guys, we goofed. Please don't beat us over the head with this. That'd have been fine. That'd have been fine. But to try and be like, well, these guys are just lying to you that are leaking. No, they have the patch, bro. They have the patch. Are you going to try and change some things now to try and make them look like liars? Probably. From a dude named Petty, that's a pretty petty move, dog. But let's keep going, because this is not the end to the drama there. The same big boss group started spreading the link around and re-uploading it, and as far as I'm concerned, they now have public mirrors too, and is what they're using to post these leaks have been spread around lately. This is the same client that you can see is one of these big leakers called NepNep, which cute little thing. This is a tweet from NepNep. This is Dim Breath's watermark on that. So NepNep has taken stuff from him before. Also, NepNep's just straight up gone. They've deleted their Twitter now as well with all this happening. Now, their reasoning to do this is unknown to me, to harass me and posting these videos insulting me, which they then were reposted on a lot of Genshin Impact servers and communities in which some people were also making fun of that. Then add the follow-up tweets and DMs with even more harassment towards me. I suspect it's what I mentioned above earlier on this message. I've been told that they also said I'm stealing something, but I'm not sure what they're on. Everything that came from me is something I did myself with my group for my own learning and enjoyment. And as I stated on this repository, to provide content for the people to build APIs, websites, bots, applications, and etc. I never talked with that big boss person until I told them to stop spreading information about me and what I do on public Discord servers. The same place where they've been called out multiple times by other members and where later they've been banned by me. And you see this is highlighted, but I mean, they don't seem to care much about the community after all. They have ulterior motives to do what they're doing. If you're curious what that one is, this is the exchange right there. From Dim Breath, it's funny how you expect people to dump stuff ahead of time when beta didn't even start without really thinking that they already started to make changes. You just seem to want to, the rest of us to have it harder in the future. I really applaud you for such service to the community. Big Boss, yes, I want to make your job harder. Why not? LOL. Please do. You will leave the stage as imperceptibly as you appeared. LOL. Okay, so it's pretty clear that Big Boss and his group are just sadist trolls that are trying to torch everything in terms of the leaker community for fun, just for shits and giggles. Essentially, what they did, unless miHoYo makes a similar mistake with posting, like the 1.6 update or posting a developer kit with that and having it be publicly available, it's very unlikely that these guys are going to be able to do what they have been previously doing because of the way that Boss dropped everything before the time-gated area. I didn't know that leakers had time-gated when they released their content so that it's a security reason. So essentially they do that so that it is harder to tell where the leaks are coming from, how they're being obtained, and kind of using the beta as a smokescreen to be able to do that. Big Boss nuked that by releasing everything before the beta was available and essentially started all of this drama. So at the end of the day, it's Russian hackers just fucking with people. Just 100% fucking with people because they can, because they're sadists, because they're bullies, and they think this is funny. I personally wish that their mother had loved them much, much more and probably hugged them a few times. That would probably be better because it disgusts me to see people take such joy and put so much work into hurting others. Like, it just blows my mind that human beings can be that disgusting. So, yep. Big Boss, you can eat a dick. You can eat a dick. And you can't hurt me because I'm already poor. What are you gonna do? So, that's more or less the entire situation in a nutshell. Big Boss and them are going to have a hard time getting a hold of future content, so we might see less leaks in the future because of this whole shenanigans. But this has been one of the craziest 24 hours with Genshin Twitter that I think we've ever seen. And I absolutely love the fact that after they posted this statement, that they themselves then leaked the developer's kit for the game. That's insane. That's just... That's so ironic that Alanis Morissette couldn't even put that in her song, because then that would actually count as an example of irony, and that's, just not what's in that actual song. Deep cut 90s joke for all my older people out there. But alright guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I'm interested to see what you guys think about this whole situation. I highly recommend you guys go dig around a little bit on Genshin Twitter and just see some of the stuff that's going on right now, because it is very, very interesting. And hey, if you want to give your boy a follow on Twitter, I need my Twitter to grow a little bit. I need that love, y'all. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by today. And yeah, I guess tomorrow we'll just take a look at some of these new characters, cause fuck them. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Catch your boy in the next one, cause we're out of here. Deuces.